It is Saturday, June 29th, 6:51 a.m. right now. Obviously, I'm about to drink some G1M and flight. What am I doing this morning? I'm gonna go for a quick run. Right? We're almost 14 days removed from 70.3 Happy Valley, and I've successfully run 3 times, and I've done 2 body pump workouts with my wife, and that's all I've done since I've gotten home. So I've got 1 more week off, a couple weeks of travel, and then we start the next phase, which is the off season, which I've talked about in the previous video, where I'm focusing on a body recomposition. Right? I need to get lean. I need to get a little bit of muscle, but lose a lot of fat. So that is the next phase. But this week I have officially finalized my 2026 race schedule, which I didn't want to do. I didn't want to focus on it, but in order to find out how long the body recomp was going to be, I had to figure out when my next race prep was going to start. So let me drink this. We'll go for a quick run, and then we'll talk about the races I'm doing in 2026 and why I'm doing those particular races. All right, let's have a good day. I've been doing for the last 2 weeks. This is it. This is my 4th run, and I'm not running long. I'm running 3.5 miles, whatever 30 to 40 minutes is, and I'm not running for any time, any pace. I'm just running, trying to readjust my schedule. So if you must know, right now running about 11:30, between 11:30 and 10:30 per mile. Just staying moving. You know, I told my wife I'd take a few weeks where I didn't do anything, and she said I give that about a week. It was about a week, and then I did my first run. And I only did my run because I could feel the bloating happening. My weight was up to like 140 or 240, 242. And I didn't really want to get much higher than that. So run just to get a sweat, get the water weight out. And I'm holding steady around 236, 237, which is fine. Now, the goal of the off season is obviously going to be to lose weight. We've got to get down to about 200, which is where I'd love to be. And I've got 16 weeks to do it. 16 weeks is confirmed because I know what my next race is. I'll talk about that when I can breathe again. I messed up running. I was talking to myself, thinking in my head about, what I'm gonna talk about later in the vlog, and I turned to one road too early to get back. So I ended my run. I'll go over when I get to the house, but only 3.3 miles, and I'm gonna walk to cool down the rest of the way, probably about another half mile home, and then we'll talk when I get back. But it's hot, it's getting warm, it's humid, and I like it. Okay, run is done. Let's see, I did
46 minutes, 26 seconds, 3.84 miles, average pace, 12:05, but I did walk the last like mile. So I'm not even really mad about that pace. I think I did 3.3 miles in like 30 something minutes. Not too bad. It is kind of hot out here today, but I did not feel bad at all. But let's do this quick sweat check. Texas humidity is phenomenal. But now I'm gonna go inside, shower, clean up, get clean, because I am just saturated. And we will talk about 2026 in a moment. Sit down. Good boy. Stay. Stay. Good. So breakfast is done. Back to the old oatmeal, eggs, egg whites, turkey, all that done. One thing I am going to change though, and what I've been doing lately is during the entire Ironman prep for breakfast, because this is basically the same breakfast I've had for years and years and years, but I've been putting this Baja Chipotle stuff on her because this sauce is fire from Subway, right? I just put a little bit on her just for extra flavor with the eggs. As I'm getting ready for the next phase with the shredding and the weight loss portion of the training, I'm looking at things that I can reduce to kind of, you know, drop extra calories out of my nutrition plan and replace them with like 0 or super low calorie options. So that is one of the things I'll be replacing, is I'll be getting rid of that and going back to the old hot sauce, because for one serving, which is a couple, like 2 tablespoons of the Subway sauce, it's 130 calories, most of it's fat. If I go to the hot sauce, it's 5 calories per serving. No fats, no whatever. So I'm like, let me just save 125 calories right there just by switching from one sauce to a hot sauce. But I'm gonna eat, and then I promise we'll talk about 2026. All right, so let's talk 2026. And again, I didn't want to talk about 2026. I didn't want to plan a race schedule so quick, just because I didn't want to think about racing for a while. And I know I've done that for years, where I always have my next year or two planned. Come on. But I had to think about this, so I knew how long I had for the off season for that, the body recomposition. So we're doing 16 weeks of a recomposition, and the reason we're doing it now is we're waiting till the 21st because I have a work trip to Mexico coming up in July. I have a vacation for my birthday coming up in July, and I was like, I'm not working out while I'm on those 2 trips. So I come back a couple days later, I get situated, ready, whatever. July 21st, we start lifting. We're gonna do a body scan. We're gonna do, you know, measurements. We're gonna do pictures. We're gonna do weekly check-ins, nutritional tracking, lifting with some cardio, the whole 9 yards. I am taking this as serious as I possibly can for those 16 weeks. There's gonna be a trip to Nashville in August that I know of, the first week of August. That's gonna throw a wrench in my plans, but the gym at work is still pretty phenomenal. I can go there and lift. I can get a run in or 2 if I have to, or if I have the ability. If I don't, then I just walk, and I'm okay with that. But I don't have any other trips planned between now and October. I'm banking on an October trip to Nashville, but again, no other family vacations until the first week of December. So I'm good, I'm in the clear. But I had to plan my 2026 schedule so I knew when I had to stop with this body recomp. So here's the schedule, the races I'm running, and you know, the training plans will start in November for everything. And basically that's November, whatever's gonna start another year of training. So the first race we're doing is in February. We're doing the Austin Half Marathon. Last year I was there this past year observing. It was cold as hell, but it warmed up pretty quick. So I'm gonna do the half marathon as part of it'll be like a training run. In April, I'm doing the Rock and Roll Nashville Marathon. So the Austin half is gonna be a great preview of, it's gonna be a great training day with the hills and the course and the distance to get to the Nashville Marathon at the end of April. Okay, in addition to that, now we're looking even further into the future. In May, there is an Olympic triathlon in Austin, the Captex Tri. I think I'm gonna do that one. Dom really likes that one on my schedule. And the reason we're doing that's basically gonna be the start of my next Ironman block, is that balls to the wall. So I'll have to be doing some cross training on the bike between February and April, and swimming just to kind of get my body remembering how that feels. October, we're gonna do 70.3 Waco as a peak week training day for November's Ironman Florida. So all of that's happening starting the end of November. So probably I think like Thanksgiving week is when we'll start getting back to an endurance training block. Hopefully I'll be where I want to be physically after 16 weeks. And then we'll keep lifting as long as we can during marathon training. We'll start that. That'll roll into the half marathon, the marathon, but before the marathon we'll have to add some cross training with the bikes and swims just to kind of get May up to speed. I can just do a crash course in May. That's really starting Ironman training with a peak week of 70.3 Waco at the first week of October, leading into the first weekend of November, which is Ironman Florida. And that's as far as I've gotten so far. I don't think I'm adding any additional races to my schedule for right now. I'm not looking into 2027. Oh, also, in addition to all that training, there is a 1 week trip at the beginning of June. So after Captex Tri, the following week there's going to be a 1 week vacation where I'm not training, because that's going to be my wife and I's 25th wedding anniversary vacation trip. Now our anniversary is not until September, but that's usually involving school, and Gigi's senior year will be starting that year. So I don't want to interrupt any of the flow of her senior year, so we're doing it at the end of her junior year. We're doing a couple months early for our 25th wedding anniversary. We are taking an adult-only cruise. So, my wife and I only cruise, because at that point, everybody in the house will be adults. So it's just the two of us going on a cruise for our 25th anniversary. But that'll be the only other vacation after December that I know about. Of course, plans do change. Things can happen, and so on. So that is the plan for 2026 as of right now. Will things change? Hopefully not. I've already talked to Connie. She's already given me the green light for that plan. She's okay with, especially with the early stage, the 16 weeks of weightlifting where I'm not training really for any endurance, then going into a marathon block, because running is a lot easier and a lot less time consuming than Ironman. But then we go into an Ironman training block where I'll be training throughout the summer and into the fall. So I know we're probably going to do every other, I'm guessing what I want to do is more open water swims starting in May. We'll do a lot more outdoor running. We'll do, biking. I'm going to try to get at least one bike per month outside up until like August or September, and then kind of get like 1 or 2 bikes per week outside, just so that I feel comfortable handling. My bike has to get a complete overhaul / just upgrade, make sure everything's tuned. So that'll happen next summer. But yeah, that's 2026 in a nutshell. Now, I'm gonna end this video here. This is really just a quick video. The next video you'll see will probably be like a preview for the workout, the lifting program, the recomp. If you do want information on what I'm doing, you can join me on Facebook. I'll put a link in the description to the Facebook group that I'm gonna create. If anybody, I'm not charging for this. I will give you the exact program that I'm following. And you can, it's an old Beachbody workout, and while I'm not affiliated with Beachbody anymore, if you would rather buy the program, I can give you a link to an affiliate for Beachbody. I don't have one, I don't want one, but I do have friends that are still affiliated with Beachbody or Body. I am not going to do that, but their workouts, some of their workouts are top level, you know, like they're pretty awesome. So I will stick to that workout. I love that workout program. I'm gonna do it again. If you want, like I said, the Facebook link to the group is gonna be below. Join me. I'm not gonna charge you for it. Like I said, I will give you the workout sheets. If you want to buy the videos and get the videos to understand what the workout sheets are saying and the order and the calendar and the schedule, by all means, like I said, I will send you a link to an affiliate. You can talk to him all you want and get it purchased. But I'm going to end this video now. I think Connie and I are going to go see How to Train Your Dragon, the live action movie, in a little while. She's coming home from the gym. And then that's going to be the rest of our weekend. Like, our weekend is going to be pretty chill. One more week. Next week's 4th of July. Awesome. And then, again, a week in Mexico, come home for 3 days. A week in Orlando, come home, and we start working out. You're probably not going to see a big video until after we start working out. And I do have a series planned for that program. So there will be a summer shredding series happening, going on starting July 21st. I don't know when the first video will be out, but I start lifting July 21st. And like I said, gonna do a body composition, like a DEXA scan type thing. We're gonna do measurements, we're gonna do photos, we're gonna do weekly check-ins, we're gonna do daily check-ins or daily weigh-ins, you know, weekly whatever I gotta do to keep myself on track. You know, nutritional check-ins. I'm not gonna do a full day eating. I don't think full day eatings matter to a lot of people, you know, because what I eat is gonna be different from what you eat, and what you eat is gonna be different from what your friends eat, and so on and so forth. So even if we're all doing the same thing, it's gonna be different. It's gonna vary, macronutrients, micronutrients, calories, etc. So I don't think I'll do a full day of eating. Maybe. I haven't looked at the whole outline of what I'm gonna do yet. So, but like I said, I'll end this video here. Give me a like, comment something you want to see going forward in the body recomp series, the summer shredding series. What's your race schedule look like for the next year? Are you interested in doing any of the races that I'm doing next year? Maybe we can, you know, meet up, you know, grab lunch or race together, or, you know, talk shit and, you know, try to compete against each other. I don't know what you want to do. I'm always good for talking shit and then lifting up whoever wins. You know, even if you don't win or I don't win, whatever, I'm still gonna prop you up for doing it, for doing the thing. That's that. So y'all have a good weekend. If I don't talk to you before the 4th, have a great 4th of July. I'll see you in the next video.